So I'm just coming down to the farm here right now. It's around, well, we loaded truck last night, very late. So I'm getting a little bit of a later start. It's actually 7 o'clock. The thermometer at home said 39 degrees, but if you can see here, right on top my grandparents' house roof, there is some frost, or what appears to be frost anyway, right there. I don't see anything on the grass, but I don't think that's gonna affect any of the veggies. If you didn't see the ending of my last video, when my cousin Joe got back from Scranton Farmers Market, we unloaded. It was like 7:30 at night, and Sammy came and we decided to just load the yellow van for the Wilkes-Barre Farmers Market, which is where I'm gonna be heading to today. My parents are still not back from South Carolina, which they will be later on today. Hopefully around 1 o'clock if everything goes well, but you never know with traffic. And so nobody's gonna be on the farm for a couple hours after I leave, and nothing's really gonna get done as far as loading for or packing and getting ready for the Scranton Farmers Market tomorrow. In the cooler here, there is just not much. Everything on this skid right here is going out to the farm, our own home farm market today. This is just what was extra brought back from market yesterday. And then that's just hot pepper bushes and some extra cabbage. Over here we have a little bit of extra stuff like eggplant, peppers, some cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, stuff like that. But we need much, much more for Scranton because Friday is our biggest day of the week. Because I have some extra time this morning, I'm gonna go down and pick some broccoli for tomorrow. That way it's one less job to do. It is freezing and also gonna be very wet and dewy, so I'm gonna suit up. Oh yeah, down here at the coal crops, it's definitely frosted. Just in certain little patches. Down here at like the lowest part of the farm, you can really see it right here on like this yellow grass. Won't hurt this stuff none though. This head of broccoli actually has ice frozen. This one has liquid water though, you can see it jiggling around on there. Sun's coming up. It is just beautiful today. I usually don't wear gloves, but my hands are numb already. I just can't handle it without them. I got 1, 2, 3 tubs of big beautiful heads. We are finally now getting to the point where our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of broccoli from one end to the other are caught up with the big heads. Now there was a couple here and there that got too mature on us and got, let go. But there is also some smaller heads that we're letting grow even more. But in the meantime, some of the first plants that we cut the large head off of have now started to produce some beautiful shoots like you see there. And this is why broccoli is such a moneymaker, because not only do you get that big beautiful head, but then a couple weeks later you get a lot of shoots. Sometimes you get 2, sometimes you get 3, sometimes you get 4, depending on the weather. You can see a little one there, another little one there, there's another little one down in there. Here's a great example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All these are shoots. So before I head up, I'm gonna grab a couple heads of cauliflower for market. This stuff has grew like crazy. When we started cutting it, it was almost a little bit borderline too small. Now, it's enormous. You know they're big when you only get 4 in a tray. Sometimes if we're lucky, we can squeeze 5. All right, truck's packed, heading off to market. Gotta take the dogs home. Come on, Lily! So we are here now and set up at the Wilkes-Barre Farmers Market. A lot different of scenery, at least, right here at the square than it is at Scranton. You got big buildings, and there's all that stuff in Scranton too, but just not exactly where we are you know, selling. There's the setup. Earl's following along. Here's the extras up here. We don't take as much, so we don't have as much extras. But it's still a good amount of everything. The saying always goes, stack it high, watch it fly. Just look at that cauliflower. Beautiful. So it's 6:30 in the morning. We just got down here to load truck for the Scranton Farmers Market. It's real hard to see yet, but we got a pretty hard frost this morning. Everything has a white coating on it. Obviously not good for any of the peppers or anything like that, but it is becoming that time of year to where it's gonna be quite normal. I guess I should mention Mom and Dad are back. They came back like yesterday afternoon. So we just about have the cooler emptied out. Very little in here. And then out here is everything that we just got packed. Broccoli, long hots, cauliflower, lots and lots of peppers, bags of potatoes, pumpkins, washed crated potatoes, basketed potatoes, hot pepper bushes, cabbage. Dad's getting sweet corn right now. Now you can see the frost out here a little better. And it's hanging around. The sun's taking a little while to come up. That's a pretty heavy frost. But I think stuff will make it through. At least one or two more of these yet. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 skids on. We're a little over halfway. Or we're probably gonna fill it straight to the back with more skids.
I think that's enough for that one. There's 6 in there.
So Dad left. He's off to Scranton. Mom is out at the farm market setting up everything that needs to be done there. And I am now heading to the field with the John Deere. And I'm gonna hook up to the potato digger and dig 2 rows of Norwis, which is our last 2 rows of yellow potatoes for the season. All right, so here we are. Right now I'm going into a patch of thistle, which actually digs through the thistle pretty well. I have Mom behind me just because there's so many weeds and we didn't get them mowed off yet. She's just making sure it stays clean, which right now it's doing really good. So that is it for potato digging today. Went way smoother with Mom. With the weeds not being mowed off, they just want to sometimes get caught up under. The thistle though doesn't, which, you know, it's bad because every single one of these little fluffy things is a seed and it just spreads all over, but it goes back through the digger easier. And so, you know, there's goods and bads and pros and cons to that, but as far as the potatoes go, they look really nice. Definitely don't think I bruised anything up digging. Some of them are a little smaller than I'd like to see, but most of them are a good size. Pretty nice for bagging. We don't like to put anything real small, like anything smaller than that, in a bag for 50 pounds. And I don't really know why that is. That's just something my parents have always done. We always take out the smalls and put in the mediums to larges, if you know, we have the potatoes. And so that leaves 2 rows here of white, 2 more rows of white, so that's 4, which is the Eva. And then these 2 rows, along with these 2 rows all the way on the end, are the dark red Norland. I'll probably be digging these 2 tomorrow as long as the guys can come. So then that just leaves the center section. The whole goal this year, which we decided last year, is we want to be done by like the 1st of November. And that's for a couple reasons. You know, you get really cold temperatures that could freeze the potatoes in the ground. Like a frost here and there won't hurt them, but if it gets real cold, it will. And then you have, you know, sometimes the help can't show up, and it's just nice to be done and move on to other jobs like picking up plastic, planting garlic, all that kind of stuff. The strawberries are also looking pretty nice. We gotta fertilize them one more time here, hopefully within like the next week or so, and then they'll be done for the winter. The last job will just be getting the straw on them for not only frost protection, but also just to be nice for the customers when they're picking. All right, so last job for today is cutting corn stalks. It's getting pretty late in the season, but people are still coming into the farm market asking for them, so we're just gonna get like 5-6 bunches. And my new method this year for cutting the stalks down is using the recip saw. We always have Milwaukee, so I mean you can use DeWalt or whatever, but I just like Milwaukee. And so it's literally that easy. And I'll just literally go through, as long as all of the stalks are the same height, I'm just gonna cut them all down, which these are all very close. I didn't want that one. I don't exactly, we usually put like 6-7 in a bunch. I don't know, that's probably like 15 stalks, something like that. Should be about good. So we got 6 or 7 bunches here. I don't even remember. Sammy's finishing up the last one right now. We just take binder twine, tie at the bottom, tie at the top. That way they stay nice and even. The only problem with as they get bigger and more dried out, the top tassels, I think it's actually tassels, bend over with the wind, and then they are not quite as pretty, but they're still nice. The cool thing about these is they still have some green on them, so they look really cool. A lot of corn stalks like our neighbors right there are dried out because they got them planted earlier, which is honestly better if you're gonna harvest, but this is nicer for corn stalks. So it's now the next morning. Dad and I are down here in the late season cold crops. As you can see, we're getting a lot of cauliflower, but it's actually not as much as it looks like because the cauliflower now is so big that we can only get 3 to 4 in a tray. If we're real lucky, we can get 5. Right now we're getting purple. We obviously already got a lot of the white. It's so like vibrant. We have so much cauliflower. These are all ready to pick. We're just trying to get the biggest ones. Like these are huge, but we're passing these up for ones like this. What's that?
Is that it?
We can get like, well, after these, probably 4 or 5 more. Cauliflower's done. Now on to cabbage. Jose just brought a load of peppers in. Some beautiful cherry, enormous jalapeno, orange bell, yellow bell, eggplant, long hots. Orange bell are just generally smaller. I found one nice red bell when I was walking past. I just couldn't pass it up. I mean, look how big that is. And then the yellow bell are kind of like in between those two sizes.
See, I'm stuck. Alright, stop playing. Logan thinks he's a ninja. Ow.
All right, so cabbage and cauliflower are now done. This is a whole bin of cabbage just topped off with some purple. And this is all the cauliflower, which is 16 trays. That's a lot for a Monday, but there's only 4, sometimes only 3 in a tray, so it's really not as many as you think. And now the cooler is finally filling back up again for another week of market. So now that mostly all of the picking is taken care of, Mom, Dad, Sammy, and myself have moved into bagging corn. I just made the comment when we were all out here working, because we're like 3/4 of the way done now, that I don't remember the last time we had more than like 2 or 3 people working on this job at one time. So it's just nice getting this stuff done fast. Everybody's sitting, laying down.
My heated socks. My toes get so cold.
45 degrees out.
My toes get so cold, it's awful. They were fun walking, but then we sat there for a good like 10 minutes, and I had to turn them on. There's a toe on each foot.
The whole corn bagging process is pretty simple. Right now, the way it's working out is Dad and I are bagging it. I get the bag as close as I can to 50 pounds, give it to Mom, where she'll weigh it, get it to exactly 50 or 51 pounds. Then she brings it over to Sammy, who will then take the bag sewer, sew the bag shut, and then stack it. And then it is ready to go out to the farm market for sale. So we finished corn in record time. I think it took us like 45 minutes, which is the fastest we've ever bagged 70 bags, but we also had 4 of us. So then Sammy and I ended up taking that corn out and ended up meeting some great people, or a great family actually, from Canada. And they also have their own farm. So we were out there a little longer than expected, and now we're getting to the potato field, or we're gonna be getting to the potato field a little bit late, but that's okay. We always make time for people who want to come visit us. So the red potatoes are done. Don't know exactly how many baskets are out here, but if you can see, they go all the way and they like curve around the Kubota. And they're all really nice. Wish I had my drone, but just don't have that kind of time right now. One bin's full.
We dump another one here, yeah. The baskets are full.
We try and make sure all the tails are picked off. We try not to let any green ones pass through, but it's hard when they're dirty like this. So we have 2 bins left. We have now filled all of our big plastic bins, which are quite a bit larger than the cardboard. So now we have to go to the cardboard.